In the beginning of Parshas Acharei Mos, Rashi wonders why the parsha begins in this fashion. Hashem speaks to Moshe after the death of the sons of Aaron, and the way in which the sons of Aaron died because they came close to Hashem, and they died. We're told that it's because they brought an Eish Zara, a foreign fire that was not requested of them. We can't simply act or serve God the way we want to, but rather the way in which He ordained us to. So Rashi wonders, why is this here? We've already learned about the death of Aaron's sons. Why is it repeated again? There must be some lesson to it. And Rashi points to Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah, who gave the following mashal. He said that there was a sick person, and the sick person was in a room. A doctor comes in to examine the sick person, and he says, after looking at the individual, says, listen, make sure you don't eat this, and make sure that you lie your body in a certain way, and you'll become healed. Doctor leaves, and then there's another person who comes in. Another doctor comes in, examines the person, and says, look, I think you should not eat a certain thing, and you should lie a certain way, and that way you won't die like another person who I had seen die from this illness. There's no doubt, says Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah, that the individual who is sick is going to listen to the second doctor more than he's going to listen to the first doctor. Because the second doctor brought with him the alarming words of, you won't die like a person who had your illness who died previously. There are so many times that we go through life and we don't realize, we don't recognize, we don't wake up to the opportunities that we have to fill ourselves with all kinds of positive things in our lives. And only when we become alarmed, then do we recognize and realize that we're missing opportunities. Rav Chaim Volozhin was legendary to say that there is a Sefer Musar, there is a Musar book, a concept of Musar, but he says that the Musar book is not found in any library. Rather, it's a Musar book which is extremely important for any human being, extremely valuable. And he says this Musar book, but it's not a book, is a watch. So a person looks at a watch, just sits down, takes a watch and looks. A person sees not only the time as far as the hours are concerned, but then a person looks at the minutes, and then a person looks at the seconds. And as time goes by, the individual recognizes that so much time has passed and that time can be filled with so much good. There's so much opportunity to fill our time with so many positive things, certainly with Limud Torah and keeping of mitzvos and acts of chesed. But too often, we don't take advantage of the time until there's an alarm that sounds and tell us that we don't have so much time left. We are in the midst of the days of Sfira. We count 49 days, 7 weeks, between the second night of Pesach and Shavuos. It's the most important time of the year in which numbers and time take a significant impact, have a significant impact on our observance. And so every night we count not only the day, but we count the amount of weeks, how long it's been, and we end up counting up, not counting down. And perhaps the reason why we count up is to recognize the accomplishment that we were able to focus on, accomplish during a day by looking at the value of a day. If we don't see the value of a week, then we see the value of a day. If not seeing the value of a day, then we see the value of an hour. If we don't see the value of an hour, then to see the value of a minute. If we don't see the value of a minute, just to recognize even the value of a second. Time is of great significance in Judaism, but it's also of great significance in life. And so the Torah begins the Parsha of Acharei Mos with the lesson of what happened to Aaron's sons, because Aaron was to learn that there's a time and place to approach God when He wants us to approach, when He wanted the Kohen to approach, and that time and place was on Yom Kippur. Only then was Aaron able to go into the Holy of Holies. But the lesson of Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah is for us to recognize the alarm bell that's ringing at all times, signaling to us the opportunity to be constructive and be productive in our growth, in the growth of our souls, in the coming closer to Hashem, in the working on ourselves, and preparing ourselves for the acceptance of the Torah on multiple levels, which will take place, please God, at the end of the count of Sfira on the Yom Tov of Shavuos. Thank you for listening and have a good Shabbos.